this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings. We have a card that we're going to make today, and we're going to be making it a really simple card. So we're using 2 stamp sets. We're using this chalk line stamp set. It has some border stamp sets, and then we're just using a sentiment stamp set. And then we're going to use the Stacked with Love paper stack. So this is a 4x6 stack, has all these great colors, and it's going to be really easy to use. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a Whisper White card base. Okay, and then all I've done is I've trimmed my paper, my designer paper, down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it goes the entire length of the card. That's not something I usually do. That is kind of new, but I thought that I would try that out. So let's move our card aside, because then we're going to take a piece of grid paper and lay it down. This grid paper is really a mess. And then we have a piece of Whisper White, and this piece is just cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So when we, or 4 by 5 1/4. So that when we layer this up, there's gonna be a really thin border, okay? So we're gonna set this down, and we're gonna need 2 ink colors, and you could do any color combination because your background is black. And so that makes it really easy. You could do 2 shades of blue, you could do 2 shades of purple. I'm using a red and a pink. So I'm using Real Red, and then I'm using Blushing Bride, which is a pink. And then what you're gonna wanna do is have your Stamp and Scrub close to hand. Okay, so this is how I clean my stamps, and you're gonna want this close because we're gonna have to clean the stamp each time we use it. So let's go ahead and grab, we're gonna use this heart border, and I'll zoom in for you guys once we get this going so you can see what's happening. So I'm gonna turn this slightly, and then let's zoom in. Okay, so we're gonna start down here. I've angled my paper, and then I have this border, okay? So we're gonna start with the red. You can start with either color, but I like to start with the red. And I'm going to just line, okay, it's a little hard to see, so let's just zoom way in. Okay, so you see this little line of hearts right here? So I'm just lining that up in the corner. Just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna clean our stamp. And I gotta spritz my cleaning scrub a little bit. Because the red is dark and the pink is light, you really don't wanna mix those inks. So now I'm gonna ink this up in pink, and we're gonna repeat the process and layer them on top of each other. Okay, and then we'll clean. And then we'll do red. I'm going to do this 2 more times, so I'm going to do another layer of pink. And then I'm going to do 1 more layer of red. Just like that. Okay, so let's close our inks up so I don't put my whole elbow into an ink pad, which I've been known to do. And then let's zoom out a little bit so you have this cool pattern. Now you could do this all the way up your cardstock and make your own background paper. But I just did it right there on the edge. And then I'm going to take this stamp set, and you could use any of these sentiments, would work perfect for this card. I'm going to use the thank you because these are actually thank you cards for customers for the month of February. So whenever you place an online order with me, you get a thank you card in the mail that is blank so that you can reuse it. So I'm going to use my Memento black ink pad because that is the black ink pad that is closest to me. I have just put my stamp diagonal on my block, and then I'm just going to stamp it right above those hearts. Okay, so we're almost done with this card. So now we can add some adhesive to this, layer this on here, and then we have 1 more thing left to do. So I took my white piece of paper and I just pressed it into my ink pad just like this. I'll show you. Let me find a piece of white, Whisper White. This works great with Whisper White. So I just took my Whisper White piece of paper, pressed it into my ink pad, and then I picked up some of the color onto that piece of paper. And then I did it again, just like that. And then you have to let it dry because it's slightly wet. And then I took our mini heart punch and punched out a tiny little heart. We can use just regular adhesive on that, just like that. And that is the card for today. Super simple, and I love the way it came out. And again, you can use any color combination you want. It doesn't have to be pink and red. You could do, like I said, blues would work really nice because this paper, the back part of it is so neutral. It's just black and white. So there's all these great designs, and then you could pair it up with any color. And then the other side, it has the reds and the pinks and Calypso Coral, but it would work with any of them. So thank you guys so much for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the card. You can click right up here. It takes you to my coordinating blog post, and then you can go right over, look at the supply list, and then see all the items that I used. So thank you guys so much, and I will be back again later this week with lots of fun stuff. Thanks guys, have a great day.
Hey, if you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw out